Hey everyone, Nick Engvall here. Before we get into today's episode, I want to tell you about some of the people that make the sneaker history community and this podcast possible. It's more important than ever to think about who you give your money to when you're buying clothing to go with your kicks. Our friends at Guilty Goods started their brand with a goal of giving back, especially to the communities that make sneaker culture possible. With every purchase from Guilty Goods, at least 10% of the proceeds are donated to organizations like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, the Susan G. Komen Foundation, the Movement for Black Lives, and many more. You can save 30% on your order by using the code HISTORY at guiltygoods.us. Again, that's history at guiltygoods.us for 30% off, and you can feel good about your purchase knowing you're supporting a meaningful cause. Sneakers are all about presentation, and if you're like me, displaying your kicks at home or in the office is just as important as when they're on your feet. Sneaker Throne makes sneaker display cases featuring customizable LED lights, drop-side cases to showcase the entire side of the shoe, not just the heel or the toe, the whole shoe. They've also got display cases for trading card collectors and hat collectors. To me, it's the perfect way to display your collection. You can save at least 10% on your Sneaker Throne order by using the code HISTORY at sneakerthrone.com. That's history at sneakerthrone.com. If you're a Patreon supporter or a member of our Discord community, you already know about Kicks with V hot sauce and his small batch, locally sourced hot sauce. V has been one of the biggest supporters of sneaker history and the podcast since the early days. He's currently the defending champion in our community trivia nights competition. Kicks with V hot sauce has been a huge hit with the community. You can save 10% on your order by using the code SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. That's SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. Now, you're probably here because you like sneakers, and if you join the Discord, you know our community is about so much more than that. Whether it's the marathon-like community calls, trivia night debates, the in-person meetups, or just sharing our favorite experiences, we found that although we have such different backgrounds, we all have some unexpected shared passions. Not only does the entire community look out for each other when it comes to releases, we're like a support group for life in general. You can join the Discord community for free by heading to the show notes of this episode. After you're done listening to this episode, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Now let's get into today's episode.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a LeBron James with no regard for human life. Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Iverson against Gill, the crowd on its feet. Allen for the win.
Welcome to the Sneaker History Podcast.
How you doing, Earthlings? Welcome to another episode of the Sneaker History Podcast. I'm Robbie. He's Rohit. He's Mike. I can't tell which direction you're seeing our faces, but we're the Sneaker History Gang, and we're very happy to have you here. How you dude doing?
Oh, fantastic, dude. Just happy to be here. I had to break away from that little multiverses game with my son, but good day.
Which game was that, Mike?
It's so basically it's Warner Brothers direct, like extreme copy of Super Smash Bros., but it's all like Warner Brothers characters, like and you have LeBron in it, yeah, and LeBron. so it's very interesting.
Space Jam 2, because that was what Space Jam 2 was.
Exactly, like he has a Space Jam uniform on, throwing a basketball at people. I'm like, you could have done better with that, but hey, you know what? We're here.
Rohit, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Found out about this new video game that I need to check out, and hopefully I go into that with the proper set of expectations, because I remember as we were chatting about Space Jam 2, Robbie had the most sobering take, which is it's not meant for us, so let's just enjoy it for what it is. So I thank you for that, Robbie.
I do what I can. You can have Bugs Bunny fight LeBron fighting Batman. That's pretty interesting. I mean, speaking of interesting, I feel like we kind of have a multiverse collection of shoes between the three of us when we do our rockin' and coppin' here. So who wants to start show and tell? Our glorified show and tell episode. Go ahead, Rohit.
Yeah. So what I recently copped, the LeBron James,
beautiful,
LeBron Palmer,
very nice
general release. It's crazy to me that this shoe about a decade ago was the most exclusive of player exclusives, and now it is a general release, and I am happy for it because it is still a head-turning shoe. I like it a lot, and I've realized that this is Arnold Palmer summer for me. That's been my official drink of the summer, so what better way to commemorate that than with shoes that are inspired by said beverage. And then what I recently rocked at a friend's wedding, the Amamanye Trace.
My goodness. Here.
The amount of people that were paying homage to me, I felt awkward. I probably will not wear these in public out again because I'm not used to that sort of adulation and admiration from folks. But if you do that shoe in terms of wearing it out and about, just get ready for the compliments.
Dang, that's the shoe to wear when you need to feel good and a little pick-me-up, huh?
Oh, and then some. Like you'll have random people that aren't even sneakerheads be like, "That is a tremendous shoe. What is that? Is that mahogany? What is that?" Like they turn into NPR presenters. So yeah, great shoe. Happy I got it. But my goodness, that is the one drawback is people are going to compliment you, and if you're not comfortable with compliments like I'm not, it's a seasonal wear.
It's all right.
Hot dog. People like me when I wear these shoes. Damn it. It's awful.
It is. I don't want to be popular.
Leave me alone.
Oh, it's awesome,
I
man.
do the mustache, guys, to keep people away.
Dude, first of all, you know the distinguished look if you have this mustache plus the Alma Manier 3. Like you become a grown man sneakerhead. That's what it was just now. They just didn't know what to do with you.
I look like an undercover Bollywood cop. I look like I could sell you Turkish rugs all over the world.
Well, speaking of Turkish rugs, Mike, your face is looking great. What have you been rocking and copping?
I love the transition. I've been rocking my Andrew 1, courtesy of the good folks at Reebok. I told them when I got out I was going to wear it. Like, these things are all creased up already. We can't stop, won't stop. We're going to put them on all summer.
The best part of that shoe is just the fade, how it goes from tapered, the line getting smaller as you get towards the toe looks so good.
Perfect. Such a fast looking shoe. And I didn't realize until I was doing a review that it actually was like the precursor to the Shroud for the Antra 4. Just kind of slowly get you there without the zipper and complete closure. So the more you know. My copping is actually one. Oh gosh, it's up by my chair here. You guys know I love my Gel Light 3s. This one is the Wisteria Plant Gel Light 3. It frustrates me how much ASICS doesn't talk about their own shoes anymore since they don't do as many like Ronnie Feig and Kith collabs. But I don't know if you even see how like nice this suede and stuff is on the shoe. And we just, something a little different. I love the style of shoe. I love the materials they put on it, so I have to cop it. Haven't worn it yet though.
That would be a tremendous match to Robbie's Kobe jersey. I was just going to say, that is a perfect shade of purple for a Laker representation.
Might be.
That is gorgeous. And that's the perfect way. If it's not worn yet, that's what you just copped.
Just copped.
So instead of copping, you're past tense. I think we're all past tense here, but looking towards the future always. My rocking, I told myself I was gonna wear the hell out of these shoes when I got a pair. And lo and behold, I wear these shoes a lot. I was just admiring the cookedness. I'm just like, they're getting there. They're getting a little filthy, getting a little nasty. I mean, I really do wear these Wave Runners all the time. And we were having an unpopular sneaker opinion conversation within the Discord. That's a whole channel of ours. And the Wave, Yeezy Day got brought up, and that's going to be the first topic we talk about today. But so many drops, and I actually bought the analog white 700 boost and that royal blue 700 boost.
Dang.
On Yeezy Day. I didn't even want. I mean, I wanted to. I entered the thing.
I didn't want to.
The whole point of that statement is I've now those will be my fourth and fifth pair of 700s, and these are the most comfortable pair of shoes I have ever put on. Ever. I mean, swaggy, if you think they're swaggy, but I've worn more comfortable running shoes, but from a lifestyle fashion point of view, the Yeezy 700 Boost is the most comfortable, more comfortable than any Jordans, anybody. They just comfort. I like the way other shoes look more. I like way more of their Nikes, but my fat, horrible foot loves wearing that shoe. So yeah, I copped a whole bunch of Wave Runners. That's my copping because it was Yeezy Day last week. By the time this episode comes out, last week was Yeezy Day, but it was a weird Yeezy Day. It was supposed to be 2 days. I know neither one of you two are particularly into participating with Yeezy Day, but there really wasn't much of a release on the second day. It was all kind of day one, and
Yeah.
How was your experience, or did you choose to experience it? Either one of you?
After last year's debacle of me trying for like literally every shoe and getting told no, I say I'm not going to try this year. I watched it. I love to sit back sometimes and just observe sneaker Twitter. It just gives me a little chuckle throughout my day sometimes, and that's pretty much what I did. I saw you hit on the analogs. I didn't know you hit on the blue ones as well. But it was weird to me. I kept seeing people say, "Oh yeah, Turtle Doves are releasing." I'm like, well, I would just like to see the process. Like maybe if I want to actually, I convince myself to try to buy, I will. But I didn't even see the release on Confirmed. I was like, is this like a lie?
It was there. I mean, it disappeared. Like that was the one release that made and the Red Stripe Bread 350.
I didn't see that one either. I was looking.
They were both there. It crashed this Confirmed. They both crashed the Confirmed app super hard. And what's so funny, and give me your thoughts on it, Rohit. So many people say, "Oh, the 350 is dead," but the two shoes to crash it are old 350s. That
What's
ironic?
Dead? No, I was just going to say this, Robbie. What's dead is never truly dead, and we live in that era of nostalgia. And I'll put it this way. I'm not a big Yeezy guy. I will always give my draws up to people that need it for Yeezy Day or any sort of Yeezy release. But if he ever decides to release the 750, I might call in some favors. So I'm not truly anti-Yeezy. I get the frustration. I thought the funny thing you had mentioned was this was a weird Yeezy Day. I thought it was fairly normal because there was a certain amount of backlash. And the cynic in me is thinking that long monologue that he had, I believe, on Instagram or maybe it was on Twitter about how these aren't even the shoes anymore that he wants. And they account for 68% of Adidas's online sales. And I was like, where are we cooking these numbers from? Because that is a page out of his man Trump's playbook where he's just throwing stuff against the wall. He has that charismatic fan base that's always going to go there.
Throw numbers, see if they stick, right? Because what was it like? Did he say his shoes are just a slide? It was something ridiculous, like my slides basically just make up all the sales. I'm like, what is happening? And it's funny now that because we've talked about it before, I've heard other people talk about it as well. It's like Yeezy doesn't even wear his own shoes anymore. Like Yeezy and Ye are two different things now. I feel like he just wears his Balenciaga stuff. He does his thing with Gap. But if Yeezy doesn't approve, is it even a Yeezy anymore? Is it just Adidas 350 now? Or, are they going to phase them out and still release these? Or are they just dumping stock at this point so they can let them go?
Personally, I'm waiting for the Kobe-fication where 5 years down the line, they're going to retro them and they're going to have to come up with a weird alternate name, like Crazy Ones are for the Adidas Kobe ones.
Sock Boost 2, like something weird.
The actually crazies.
The
allegedly crazy. I mean, that's jokes. I think we all represent three different camps. Rohit's going to give his entry to the side. Not really a big Kanye fan. Mike, I know you like his music, but you don't like Kanye. You're not like a big fan of the individual nowadays.
His theatrics, I'm not a fan of. Yeah. I mean, you have an issue. Like, I'm a very firm believer. Like, keep it in house. We don't need to know about it on social media.
And me, I am a consumer and a looker awayer. I mean, it's tough, man. We all have to choose our battles. Like, what are we willing to accept and not willing to accept? And I'm like, I don't even like Yeezys that much. I'm just going to enter every now and again. And then it's like, fuck, I spent like $520.
Cool. It's weird in that sense because I'll get the Adidas targeted ads and they'll always be for size 12. And that's how I know it's Robbie's Adidas that I'm actually pulling for.
Yes.
But the other thing is, Ye, I'm sorry, I have to make sure I get the name right. He's kind of become the new Diddy in that regard where his names are ever changing. And I just want to make sure I'm calling him by his new government name. And I will never hate anybody that brings me Pusha T output, Kid Cudi output, other rappers that I like. But I should also be able to differentiate the swim lanes that I interact with that Ye personality. So I'm okay with Ye. If you want to release the 750 and make it a Pusha T, I might be brand agnostic and camp out for that. But other than that, keep doing you, Ye.
I'll be right there with you. You call it the Pusha T 350. My loyalties have completely changed. Where can I buy them all?
Oh, man. I mean, it wouldn't have fit either one of you, but I was at the Adidas employee store and they had the Pusha T brown paper bag EQT boots. But they only had the biggest size they had was size 7. So they were all very small feet. So it wasn't going to fit. I was like, whose girlfriend do I know? Like, I don't know anybody who would want those shoes, who would wear a size 7, that is. So, I mean, what's interesting to me is I hit on 2 out of the 3 shoes I was able to enter. Like I tried for the turtle doves and the red stripes, but it has failed and I couldn't get an entry in. So I'm not going to count those 2. My only miss was the what's the alien looking shoe? I always forget. Not the slide, but the
700. Oh, crap. Foam runner?
the rubber one with the holes in it.
The foam runner, yeah.
Yeah, the foam runner. That's the only one I missed on, and that was my least fit. I was kind of just trying to try to see, but my point of that story is I'm a level 4 creator on the Adidas app. I mean, it says right there that you get top priority, and I'm now 2 out of 3.
I got you. I understand. But like, it doesn't, like, for any like other thing that I've tried, and I'm level 4, been for a long freaking time. They're like, no, you're good. They're like,
maybe
no,
I
you're
got
fine.
fresh luck.
If I can ask a broke boy question, how do you ascend to the different levels of the Adidas pyramid?
I'm a cheater, so I at work, like my normal 9 to 5, we get these monetary rewards that can be turned into like straight up Visa gift cards or cash, or you can break them up into store gift cards. So I will break them into like Adidas gift cards and buy stuff, but it still counts as cash for Adidas. So I just been building points up for like next to nothing. And now, if you I don't know if you've seen it, Robbie, but you can take you have your points that you accumulate levels, but there's points you gather as well that Nike, I think, should take a point from this playbook here. You can spend those points on discounts. So like you can have 8,000 points to spend on a 30% discount, 6,000 points spent on 25, and so on and so forth. But the points mean something, along with supposedly getting more access, which I just never do.
That's why I brought it up. So I have 15,000 points, and I was trying to buy the sweatshirt with points, and it was sold out. I'm like, damn it, whatever. But you brought up the point I wanted to make is Nike maybe should start doing stuff like that, because the pennies are going to be coming out, and I feel like any really good, iconic athlete, Nike athletes retro, just flies out the shelves. So maybe as a way to mediate or mitigate that traffic and bot traffic, people who spend a lot of money, whatever Nike avenue, in store, online, whatever, but have some type of reward system like Adidas does, whatever that looks like is so ambiguous, it doesn't really matter. But the point of this is Adidas has a pretty good idea there, and there's 2 different pairs of penny ones releasing this month.
Well, keep an eye out, by the way, because places like Oneness have already released them.
Ooh.
So look at small shops like Oneness, Lapstone and Hammer, Sneaker Politics. Just keep an eye on them, because
there are 12 in there?
Nope, they only have 8 and 8.5 left, because I was looking, I was like, I'm going to buy these right now if they're there. But yeah, just keep an eye out, because small shops just don't care anymore, I guess. I don't know.
So formal dates, the black pair, the away Orlando is supposed to be, well, it drops on sneakers 8/11, and then the illustrious white home pair that is never retroed comes back on the sneakers app 8/25 as of right now. So I mean, I'm a fan of both of them. Well, do you guys like these shoes? Are you interested?
I would love to have both of them. I hate that they're $170. It's a bit pricey, so I'm gonna have to go be a grown up and only go for one. If I had a choice, it'd be the home pair and the white, but I wouldn't be mad if I got the black pair. So I'm happy with either pair, honestly.
Yeah, the 170 is a bit much, considering what would it be when it was initially released, price point wise? Was it breaking 100 even?
No, I think it's like 120.
Yeah,
120. Yeah, I mean, that's one that if I see it at the discount at the employee store, oh yeah, that's a RoboCop. But 170 is a bit rough. And I think at this point, I'm also trying to see what are shoes that I can get my kid involved with. Because if she's going to be a sneakerhead, I'd rather put that money towards slightly more cute shoes for her. But then again, I say this now, but if I see that product in my hand, I will make unforeseen, unfortunate decisions when it comes to her future, but really beneficial to mine, to the point where I am addicted to people complimenting me on my shoes. That whole rockin' and coppin' segment was a front.
I love it. I secretly love it.
Itself.
So if you had to choose one at the employee store, would you get white or black?
I'd go black just because I know how sloppy I am, and I would want them to live a little bit longer as opposed to the home whites.
I like the honesty.
It's the mustache.
It's, you know what? I've seen the black ones so much, and like you said, the white ones haven't retro, and who knows when they're going to come back. I have to go with the home pair if I saw them out in the wild.
I also have to agree with you and go with that white pair. I mean, some things are just so beautiful in life, and I feel like those original white and blue and white, black and blue are just chef's kiss. And I tee that up for Mike to talk for a second about another white and blue shoe that's going to be releasing here.
Yep. So, I mean, I finally got the news that they're coming out. They have released in Canada, and I had to restrain myself from buying them to be, again, a responsible human being. But the Reebok Question Blue Toe or Pearlized Blue Toe is coming back on August 19th. I mean, what else do I have to say about that? I mean, I need Nick. Where's Nick at? Because he would be here with me, just kind of in the same boat. I'm sure he probably has like 16 pairs of them over the years. But that's just, man, another classic. Those are going to be ones that fly. I mean, I know that they're not all as popular amongst, the sneaker community. They're like, oh, blah, blah, there's other things, but that's going to be one I think is going to come and go pretty quickly. So fingers crossed to get them in hand to do a review and just to wear them till the wheels fall off.
Well, we had the red pair last year in the original suede toe, which bled, and whole fantastic story Reebok put together behind that tail. And I think the blue toe, I like it more than the red. I'm not going to lie. There is a pearlized red that obviously released. I think the blue is just such a clean, and like the metallic nature of it reminds me of water, like reflections of an ocean. Let's get deep. But no, it's a really cool shoe. And this Reebok has been on a tear with those questions. Those Dr. J inspired, 76er inspired pair.
That might be one of the best quality shoes to come out this year. Like that, it reminds me almost of the. It reminds me of a kind of a rendition of the. Of course, they're have a little bit of love from the Jordan 11, but it reminds me of the Columbia 11 with the all white and just little hits of color.
Lovely.
I mean,
there's also next month. I mean, not next month. In a week when we can talk about another collab they're doing with another brand that's done collabs. More to come on that.
I like the very just blanks to blanks.
There's a shoe with a shoe that does Reebok shoes. Red or blue?
The redacteds?
Yeah, right.
Straight to CIA files on this one.
Would you go
I was
red
just
or
going to
blue?
say this with regards to the Iverson releases, even the Eagles-inspired Iverson release that was recently dropped. They've done such a great job of curating his brand and curating his legacy. And I really hope that bigger companies like Adidas and Nike kind of takes note of how well Reebok has been achieving all of this. And maybe there's a certain nimbleness associated with them because of the fact that they can put all their time and energy into this one particular athlete, because we're all slowly falling in love with Iverson again, because he continues to be the one member of that 90s era that shows love for the younger players. But yeah, give all of the flowers to Reebok, give all the flowers to AI, and they made their relationship continue to be bountiful in terms of not only the shoes dropping, but how it's done in a tasteful way. Nothing feels like a cash grab. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but every time I see a Air Max More Tempo in a weird-ass colorway, a little part of me dies. But then I regain my vitality by looking at how well Reebok has handled these answer releases.
It's so true. I mean, so you could even say that we've ambushed Allen Iverson with
look
love.
At this guy.
I know one of Rohit's favorite shoes is getting a weird is coming back into the adjustment, into the fray. There's an Air Ambush. I said it totally wrong. Air Ambush Air Adjust Force, which is popularized for having its removable foreskins. You can go with red foreskin, you can go yellow foreskin, you can go.
Gotta come up with a different name for that.
Shrouds.
I believe it's the ectoskeleton, perhaps. But I like foreskin. If you can mix and match, I'm all for it.
The thing that I'm not gonna make that joke. I'll tell you off air. But just
Patreon exclusive.
Yeah. So Ambush has. I have a pair of Ambush Converse boots from a couple years ago, and those things. No, they're not furry. They did do a furry one. Yeah. They do some of the weirdest shoes, but once you own a pair or you wear a pair of Ambush collab Nikes or Converse, whatever sector they're working with of the swoosh, those shoes are always so well made, off the wall, and fun. So these are Just Forces. I want to see them in hand. I want to get a little more detail on them, but I'm very interested in what June has done with that, because there's a lot of fun to be had on that silhouette.
How many different colors are you getting with that? I didn't dive too deep into it. I
think 3 or 4. Okay. 2, 1.
Oh,
I thought it
go. We'll find out. We'll get more. It was very early. I'm trying to see if I can find out.
I believe they come with 2, but then at the same time, there is something so unique about this shoe. I can't think of a shoe like this that's currently out. Maybe the closest thing I could describe is it kind of gives me Air Indestruct vibes, but even that's not accurate, because that Air Indestruct vibes have the laces so far to the side, and this seems like a center-laced shoe. But I'm definitely looking forward to this. If we had to come up with one shoe Ro would actually buy for himself out of the lineup that we have, this would be my pair, and I'm just trying to decide if I want to go icy red or icy blue.
Ooh.
Icy hot, baby. Go red.
See, I'm going to flip. I'm going to say go blue, but it's... So now you're decide for yourself at this point.
It's a choose your own adventure, listener, because at the end of the day, one of you is listening to your very first sneaker history, and we want to make sure that you are welcomed with the right amount of care and comfort. So whatever you want to do, if you want to mix and match, go suicide or janitor water. That's what we called it whenever you would mix up the different flavors of soda and or ices. Go for it. We're here to support you in your endeavors.
Do you? So it looks like they took the D-Rose 1.5, on the back of the hat, the chassis, the plastic, like Robbie was mentioning, but it also looks like they updated the Kobe, and you got the new James Harden 7. It looks like a faster, more playable version of the Kobe, which is funny. They're just releasing it.
I thought it had almost a Jordan 15 vibe to it. Just because of that mid part of the design. That being said, this is probably one of the most unique looking Adidas shoes I've seen in a while. And I mean that in a good way. Like, if I wasn't necessarily affiliated with one particular brand, this would be something I would definitely look to cop, especially as I'm trying to get back into that pickup scene, where I would love to see how this plays. I kind of get the vibe that this is more of a guard friendly shoe, which makes sense considering it's a low cut model, considering it's James Harden affiliated. But yeah, this is something I would also be intrigued by. And it's one of those things, when I saw the initial thumbnail, I was probably not paying it the proper attention it needed to be paid, but this is a pretty unique looking shoe, and I'm here for it.
I'll be there day one. I usually...
Do you see the cut list now, though?
I do. I'm hoping that anytime you wear this shoe, you whistle gangster lean.
But I mean, so Jalal, the designer, I'm not to ask him because, James Harden is a part of that culture. He grew up in Southern California. So it's I like to think that there's a part of that at play. Yeah. It's a joke there, but it's also the best jokes have a little bit of truth. So I think I'm very interested to see as more and more comes out about it.
I love the drastic change, though, from kind of that they were really uniform, and this kind of jump to the left field is very welcome. I like what they've done here. I'm definitely excited for this one.
No, this feels like a James Harden shoe because I think, to the point that Mike's making, this man's known for having a very unique fashion sense. He kind of goes by the beat of his own drum. And I mean this in a respectful way. The previous Harden outputs were exactly that. They were a bit pedestrian. They seemed fine as a shoe, but if they're taking inspiration from James Harden, who's this very charismatic and stylish player on the court, especially when he was in his prime, this is the type of architecture and design I would think Adidas would favor. And it's kind of a shame in a sense that maybe we're not seeing the tail end of his prime. Maybe he will have a resurgence this year, but I would love for him to have a resurgence, so that way this type of shoe gets the proper pub it deserves.
Mm-hmm.
So between this, the Trae Young, I believe the new the Dawn issue, Volume 4 is dropping, if not already dropped. Dame's gonna have the Dame 8. You have the Gil Resto mod. You have formerly the T-Mac
So the D Roses
stuff.
too.
Rest in peace, T-Mac Adidas. D Rose is still kicking, and then now you have all these crazy and Kobe. They're all Kobe. Well, I always get like, do I just commit to the crazy like lingo? Fuck it, all the Kobe stuff from Adidas. Like between all of those, almost 8 different lines to choose, like offerings. I'm very excited to see what Adidas does. I mean, I've been cracking more and more with their clothing because on that Adidas app, they have a lot of cheap shit that's really good. So like, I got a pair of shorts for $18 and I went and bought a second pair for $18 because I like the first pair that much.
I'm start using my code so I get paid off you, bro.
Just,
if you keep buying stuff over there, I need you to use my affiliate link. I need to pay these bills out here.
I do then need to. You can make that 4 cents off that $18 purchase. I get what you're saying though, Mike. We got to get people. We got to like link out your affiliate links. Also, Sneaker History has all these affiliate links too.
Them all
so
out there for everybody.
Tons of affiliate stuff. If you need to make some purchases, let your boys know. But I mean, that's a good couple shoes to choose from. A good couple events to have happened in the first part of August. Listeners, if you're tuning in for the first time, like Rohit said, thank you. But also make sure you leave a review on whatever platform you're listening on. Maybe drop a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Maybe name your firstborn Rohit. Whatever you want to do to support the Sneaker History Podcast, we're appreciative. I'm Robbie. Make sure you're following at Sneaker History for all things historical about shoes. Mike, where can they find you?
Yeah, first off, you can find me at this hot take before we leave. Adidas has a better basketball overall lineup than Nike does right now. But you want to go ahead and fight me on that, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at MadWatcher789.
Leave him a comment on his YouTube.
Go ahead, leave me a comment on YouTube at Mike Guillory. I'll definitely go back and forth with you because you know it's true. Nike has like 3 good basketball shoes right now.
Yeah, as the token Nike representative, I can neither agree nor deny that commentary. I'm just
Ro's like, dang it.
No, it's fine. Job security, schmob.
Rohit's
I'm
like
just joking around. You can follow me on Twitter at Roheezy, on Instagram at RohitM13. I'm part of the Sneaker History Cinematic Universe along with Nick Engvall, our fearless leader. We also have a Formula One podcast called Exhaust Notes. I tend to be the exhaustive part of that. But thank you guys so much for listening.
Rohit's like, my name's Rohit and I this message.
My name is Bennett.
All right, everybody, have a great day.
See ya.
Hey everyone, this is Nick again. Before you take off, do us a solid and head over to Apple Podcasts to leave us a review. Give us a rating on Spotify and Amazon Music, and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel because we have even more video content coming soon. Speaking of new content, we have an amazing community of sneaker enthusiasts that hang out in our Sneaker History Discord on a daily basis. While sneakers is a connection point that brought us all together, we've all discovered countless shared passions that we have in common with each other. We recently launched a couple of new podcasts directly from our community. One of them is a Formula One podcast. If you're an F1 fan like me, the Exhaust Notes podcast is your weekly fix of Formula One fun. It's hosted by myself, Rohit Malhotra, and Todd Yates. New episodes drop every Tuesday. I've been wearing fitted hats for years and collecting my favorite teams since I was a little leaguer. It has been awesome to see so many new fans getting into fitteds in recent years. Crown and Stitch is our new talk show about fitted hats with Dexter, Keith, and myself, where we talk about fitted hats, snapbacks, throw in some obscure hats because we all kind of like some funky stuff once in a while, don't we? Copping, collecting, and so much more. New episodes drop every Wednesday. Hit the links in the show notes for this episode to give our new shows a listen, and be on the lookout for more new podcasts dropping soon. Last but not least, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Thank you all for the support, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.